that's our segments. Now we'll get into this. You're right. This is our final week of the fantasy football rankings that we've been doing. We did quarterbacks and running backs week 1, receivers and tight ends last week. We had a lot of different people. I'm sure this will be even more out there because I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, these are the biggest crapshoots you can do.
I'm not sure how you like to set your defense or kicker or anything like that, but we're doing defense, special teams, and kickers this week. So I'll go ahead and start with my defense and special teams. I got Tampa Bay as number 1, Los Angeles Rams is the number 2, Denver 3, Arizona 4, and then I have Cleveland coming in at number 5. So how do you have your defenses?
I got Rams 1, Bucks 2, Broncos 3, Washington football team 4, and Steelers 5. The one thing that worries me, I wanted to put the Broncos at number 2 and number 1 because I think they have more raw talent in the secondary than the Bucks do. But you got to remember the division they play in. Seeing Patrick Mahomes twice a year, that's tough for teams like that. When you see the Rams have a good division, but it's not like they have a bunch of quarterbacks that are going to steam them up, basically. And the Buccaneers, their division is ass. So that's where you got to take into account because that's 8 games throughout the year, 6 games throughout the year. That's 6 games. So a quarter of the schedule is against either a very good team or very bad teams. And when I look at teams like Washington is a team you gotta look at too because like I said, their division's terrible, and they could have field days against some of those teams. And with the Steelers, they have a tough division, but the raw talent in the back and having T.J. Watt back, Cameron Hayward back, and Devin Bush back, that's a lot of talent. That's very, very tough to beat.
I did not put the Steelers on my list out of spite because I just still refuse to do that. And I was mainly kind of picking my rankings. The Broncos, Cardinals, and Browns were pretty similar in my eyes because you have 2 really good pass rushers reuniting with a guy on the other side of the ball or uniting for the first time. With Denver, you get Vaughn and Bradley Chubb. Hopefully, knock on wood, that Chubb doesn't have any more issues. But you got Vaughn and Bradley Chubb going to be on the same field since first time in 2019, like you said. Arizona is going to have Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. That could be something special that we're not even really talking about because Arizona's out there in the West with the Rams and 49ers, so they're not really being talked about. And then Cleveland, do you remember who Cleveland signed to their defense?
Was Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney to go along with the freakazoid is Myles Garrett. And Denzel Ward is a damn good corner, and they got a good safety they were a solid defense last year with Jadeveon Clowney. If Jadeveon's good, if he's healthy, which is a big if now because he hasn't been good in two years, but if he's good, he could be a hell of an asset.
It just worries me. They're playing Chiefs week 1.
Yeah,
that's where you're like,
week 1 might not be a good.
Yeah, if you draft the Browns in your fantasy football league, that's a great team to have throughout the year. But on your bench, use one of those spots as another defense. I'm serious. Because you can use that as a trade asset later down the road. If you make a break team, like some of these teams that I'm going to talk about here, Giants or a defense that could possibly be around. The Colts could be around too. Colts, not the best division either. That's what I'm thinking. Colts may be a team that you pick up for the first week because they're not playing as good of a team. That's where you got to look at some of these matchups. Browns don't have a good week 1 matchup, but they got a very, very good defense. There's no doubt about that.
I see them I see the football team in a similar ilk as you, where I would keep them around just because, especially for those division games, you want to have, if you have somebody else that has a bye, you want to be able to put that out there. But, it's just something nice to have in your back pocket. My sleeper defenses that I put down was 49ers because they're getting a lot of guys back healthy. Washington was my other sleeper. And then I also put Miami with the Dolphins because Xavier Howard is a very underrated corner, and Brian Flores is a very good defensive coach. A lot of people forget that was his expertise in New England.
They don't got a lot of raw talent, but they got a great coach and a great scheme.
Christian Wilkins too. I forgot Christian Wilkins. Remember the big dude from when Clemson won the national championship? The guy that did the splits. That's he's their starting nose tackle. So Miami's got some dudes. Miami's been building some talent. So I think that they might be a good sleeper defense. But that's who we got defense and special teams wise. Now kickers. We're talking about kickers.
I
Great.
know, I know. It's not
Great.
the boss topic, but
It's hilarious. So I just real quickly before we get into this, but on our team, the kicker that we use is also my center. And I have never met a kid who loves kicking as much as this center does. He's like, "Are we doing kicking today at practice?" I said, "Probably not. We kick it to the sideline. You try and kick it out of bounds. We're probably not going to practice that. It's pretty simple." He's like, "But okay, are we going to practice it next time?"
I love it. I love it.
I got kicker wise, Justin Tucker, my number 1, Harrison Butker 2, Young Hoku. That Young Hoku is 3, 4, Rodrigo Blankenship, and Rodrigo, you sunk my Blankenship, and then 5, Jason Sanders. I was gonna put
You put Blankenship there because of the meme. I know you did.
well that, and I was trying to think when I was rating my top kickers. Obviously, the ones that are very talented, like Butker and Tucker, are. If you have them available, you should draft them. But I was thinking about what's the other good thing to draft a kicker for? Teams that can get into the red zone that can't score touchdowns.
Oh,
Hello, Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, that's a good thought
A la
process.
Denver Broncos the last few years with Brandon McManus.
Very true.
So
I changed. I have mine a little bit different. I have Butker 1, Tucker 2, Koo 3, Matt Gay 4 with in LA because I think he's going to put up a lot of points. Jason Sanders I have as well. The reason why I have Butker is just because I think the Chiefs are going to put up more points on a weekly basis than the Ravens. It's not by much. It's 1A and 1B. Young Hoku could be in the conversation, but the Falcons aren't going to be doing a whole lot this year.
Talk about a team that can't get into the end zone, so they just score a lot of damn field goals.
Oh, yeah. They'll be able to get down the field. They won't be able to score, though, because no running game, but they have Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts to put it over the top.
Mm-hmm. No, I think did you say your sleeper kickers already?
No, sleepers, Tyler Bass for Buffalo. I think because Buffalo, like I said, Buffalo's going to put up a lot of points.
Picking a kicker from Buffalo is especially.
Yeah, that's a little bit tough.
Pick them up on waivers early in the season, but if it's late in the year and the Bills have a home game, don't put your Buffalo kicker there. Don't do it.
Yeah, the Bills kicker, it's going to be hit or miss. Beginning of the year, I think he's going to be really good. And then I have Chase Mclaughlin for Cleveland because Cleveland, they work the clock. And if they're not able to punch it in, which I think they will be, but they're going to rely on their kicker a lot, I think, in my opinion.
Is it not Parkey anymore? I thought Cody
Parkey lost the job. It's McLaughlin.
Well, both Ohio teams had a kicking battle, and both the veterans got knocked out. Speaking of, that's my first sleeper kicker, Evan McPherson. If you guys don't know who Evan McPherson is, if you've seen the TikTok where the kicker kicks it from the base up into the upper railing and knocks the bottle cap off when everybody was doing the bottle cap challenge, that's Evan McPherson when he was kicking at Florida. That's the Bengals' 5th or 6th round draft pick this year. So Evan McPherson, he's got a lethal, accurate leg. He's going to be. Who
was your kicker last year? Good old Robbie, right? Robbie Gold was it?
No, Randy Bullock.
Randy Bullock. That's right. I knew it was one of the fat guys.
Fat Randy Bullock, the guy who lost us like 4 games. Yeah, Fat Randy Bullock. My next sleeper, Josh Lambo out of Jacksonville. He's a really consistent guy. And then Matt Prater, guy. If he's not drinking out in Arizona, I like Matt Prater a lot. If he's seeing 2 goalposts, maybe not. But
I didn't even know Prater was in Arizona until the 3rd week of the preseason when he hit a game winner, or 2nd week of the preseason when he hit a game winner. I was like, "Holy fuck, Matt Prater's in Arizona?" Because I thought he was still in Detroit.
That's Matt Prater. Yeah. No, this one a little bit quicker just because the defenses and kickers are kind of straightforward. It's not not a whole bunch of debate as to who are the best ones and who
you gotta have you just gotta have reliable guys. You don't need studs. You need reliable players here because you don't want defenses that will give you negative points. You don't want kickers that are going to give you 2 points a week. You just need good, reliable players here.
Yeah. All right. Now we get to round out episode 56 on the far end of the bench, and we'll start with beats of the week. I'm just going to throw it back out.